Diva Moed, Diva Moed, Diva Moed. So I want to welcome everybody on LTV who is watching, and thank you for joining us. This remarkable moment in a historic synagogue's history, in which we are going to leave our adopted home here at the Old Whalers Church to carry our beloved Torahs, to carry our beloved community, and to return to our temple with a lot of love and a lot of excitement for the future. Nice. Okay, good. You know, every once in a while.
I know.
Yeah, we'll be down
so
there.
much better than you. Oh my God.
That's a good idea. Great. I like it.
Where we are now, I need something that I can handle.
Following him, I don't know how excited I am.
Excited to hear what it is, the words. Thank you very much. We'll try to out the rest of the crowd. Dicky and everything. Good morning. What is that? Last five. Sorry, I got, I'm close enough.
I was going to be wearing a tie, but Neil
Told you no. No. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't.
I was wearing a nice tie.
You got to be crazy.
He said, should I wear
No. I think he, of course, as usual, is right on. Right on. It's great. It'd be a lot easier, a lot less complicated. And then that part of my brain just kicked in. It was like, what are you talking about? Right? Like, you do this. Do this. We are schlepping all the time. And some Megillas and some other stuff.
We're known for
We're schlepping. Actually, if we could start to move over in this general direction, and if anybody knows where Shelley is, that would be... Okay, so that's all right. Keep hugging each other. Keep doing what you're doing. You look beautiful. Just walk by me. It's the challenge of diminutive stature sometimes, as you get lost in a crowd. Okay, so I'll keep explaining this as we're getting together, but most of you hopefully know what we're about and what we're doing here. There, Chief, can you raise a hand? Can we give a round of applause to the Chief and our incredible Sag Harbor Police Department? Always coming to our aid, and to our wonderful security guards as well. So once we begin to process, we're going to hang a left. This is Latham Street. Latham Street will eventually get to Division Street. We're going to hang a right. We're going to walk all the way up towards the Harbor Market, and then it should be pretty familiar to you guys. Although I know we have some people in the crowd who've never actually even been in the temple before, so it's even more exciting. The main idea here is the front of the line is going to be the cantor and myself. We're going to be singing all the way, and we want to hear you guys singing. And we're also going to make some stops along the way to transfer Torahs from one to the next. So it's very important when it comes to the Torahs that we observe just a few basic ideas here. If you're holding the Torah, main idea is use your shoulder to carry most of the weight. If you feel like it's mostly in your hands, just lean back a little bit, okay? But the main idea is whichever is your dominant hand, right hand, left hand, try to make sure that it's curled around the side. That way you're really, again, resting most of the weight here. Okay? Second thing is, every single line of Torah carriers are going to have people on either side that are just there to help. So don't be embarrassed. Don't be concerned. If something happens, right, your knee gives out, whatever it is, okay? You get tired, whatever it is, just look to either side and there'll be somebody that will help you right there, okay? Second thing to keep in mind if you're holding a Torah, basic principle, treat it like it's a child, okay? You wouldn't drop a child, you're not going to drop a Torah. Okay, basic idea, and we've got children here, we all know, okay? Third piece of this is, there are going to be some starts and stops. We're a big crowd. It might be a little awkward at places. Give each other some space as best as you can, especially around the Torah holders. And the idea is that we're going to have really 7 stops along the way, plus a few when we get closer. So you're going to listen very closely to Shelley, anybody who's a Torah carrier. We're going to set up a first row, a second row, a third row, fourth row, sixth row, 7th row. All right? My suggestion is that we set up the rows in the street already going this direction, and everybody else will line up behind. Does that make sense so far? Yeah. Okay, I heard some faint applause. I'll just assume the answer to that was yes. Worst comes to worst, in this crowd, use your best judgment. That much I can trust. I trust you all very, very well in that sense. And we're going to have a great time tonight, and we're going to have a great time for the next 120-something years, okay? So, Shelley's going to take over now, start explaining, and...
Thank you and welcome, everybody. It's so awesome to see all of you. And we just can't wait for you to get inside the sanctuary and see the amazing building. So a little work to get there. We've done it back and forth. It's not bad. So I'm going to call out the people. We've got you lined up. And if you could just go stand on the road and just go one behind the other, so that way when you stop at the one stop, you'll know to give it to the person behind you. So Sherry and Howie Littman, Alan Levitt, Howard and Ann Schwatzky, and Nicole Grunstein.
Okay, so I'll stand where everybody should then stand with us. Okay.
Susan?
And David, or just me? David and
You
me,
can
or
do,
just me?
yeah, couples can go together.
Okay, so come with me, honey. There you are.
Susan?
Okay, so the next lineup is Perry and Lisa Gershon, Ari Weller, Marilyn Liu, Marilyn Zaretsky. So I'm saying the one of the couple's names, but it's both of you, so please. Behind that is Marcus Klein, Bonnie and Ira, Rona Klopman, and Leah Oppenheimer.
Did you say me?
Not yet. Ma?
Can we just give one to Vance?
What am I supposed to do?
Just go down there and Dan will help you. Okay, next lineup is Mark Moskowitz, Mark Greenwald, Janet Grossman, Alyssa Peak. Again, Mark. Two Marks. Mark Moskowitz, Mark Greenwald, Janet Grossman, Alyssa Peak.
I don't know. Someplace in there. Someplace in there.
Okay, Brianne Matloff, Nat Agosi, Fran Gottfried, Roger Matloff, Mark and Wendy Biderman, and Julie Tacton, Kent. So I'm just going to go make sure that everybody is where they need to be. We also have Megillah reader holders. So Bill Chaloff.
Okay. Second row.
So you're going to stand to the right of the person, the last Torah holder. So for the Megillah holders, Bill Chaloff, Tom Ackerson, Lou Geffen, Rachel Feldman, Lauren Tepper, and Judy Spencer. These are Megillah holders. You're in line, Julie?
We'll make it there safely.
My daughter's buying one.
That means she wanted to come out here.
One more second until we remember who's getting which. That's important. Sure. Somebody. Hey guys, you look great. You look great. I love the little Torahs. It's perfect. No. We were very thoughtful about who gets which one.
Very strong.
As much as we possibly can. For sure. Okay.
It's an honor to carry any Torah and will rise to the occasion.
So I'm thinking maybe we could ask one like Liv or Max or one of the teens to carry this one would be good. Okay, so can I just have, do you have a sheet? Oh, okay. Okay, next guy. Alan gets a large Torah, so Jonah, that's it. Rabbi Jonah gets it, I'll take the Megillahs. Okay, these are Megillah holders. All right, Bill Chaloff. Bill Chaloff, somewhere around here? Yeah, he's here. He's here? Okay.
Bill Chandler.
You're going to get the Holocaust scroll. It looks, but it's actually very light. It's just a quality. You'll be amazed actually with how light it is for you. Does that feel okay? Okay. And then, all right, Ira, you're going to give the small one to Howard Williams. Okay. All right. Okay, Bill Chandler. Here we go. Bill.
1-year-old.
Bill. Okay. Megillah for you. All right. And Tom. Thank you. Megillah. You got it? Okay, good. All right, now.
My paper.
No, I got it. All right, so remember our first stop is Well, let's go, and when we stop, we'll stop. Just watch my hands. Okay. Cantor, let us go.
Okay, right here.
All right, we're going to now shift to our second row. So our first row, Torah people, turn around, face the wonderful people behind you. Okay, anybody that's holding anything other than a Torah, try to stick to the furthest ends that you can. Okay, so let's make sure we're handing to the right people. Okay, so Perry and Lisa are taking from Sherry and Howie, or Alan is fine. That's fine. Okay, Ari Weller, you're taking another big one. Okay, and let's see. Actually, Marilyn Z, I think we want you to have this one. You take the other big heavy guy. Okay, yeah, let's switch that around. Hi, sweetie. Good. I told you it was going to be fun. Okay, we've got 4 Torahs. We got 4 people with those Torahs? Yes? All right, Cantor, start us off. La 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 Okay, so Harry, you're going to transfer to Marcus Klein. Ari Weller, you're going to transfer to Bonnie and/or Ira. Marilyn Liu, you're going to transfer to Rona Klotman. Marilyn Z, you're going to transfer to Leah Oppenheimer. Okay, and our Shomrim, our guards, John Oppenheimer on one side, Pat on the other side, or Roger on the other side, Roger Matloff on the other side, and Lou Geffen gets a Megillah. Wherever Lou Geffen is, she gets a Megillah. Okay, moving right along. We're doing this is good. This is good. I'm impressed. You guys are listening. Oh, yeah, I don't want to knock into the camera. Okay, Cantor. Big turn. Big turn. The big turn.
Big turn.
Shabbat shalom, ma'yafeh hayom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat Shabbat shalom, Shabbat Shabbat shalom, Shabbat Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, ma'yafeh. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma'yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Ma'yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Ma'yafeh hayom. Shabbat, Shalom. Ma'yafeh hayom. Shabbat, Shalom. Excellent. Okay. Marcus Klein, you're going to hand your Torah off to Mark Moskowitz. Ira or Bonnie, are you holding a Torah? Bonnie, you're going to hand off to Mark Greenwald. Mark Greenwald should be right there walking towards you. Okay, Rona, you're going to transfer to Janet Grossman and Carl. And Leah, Hank, you're going to hand off to Alyssa Peak and Barry Peak, who's going to join you on the side. And the Megillah now transfers to Rachel Feldman. And I think we actually have two Megillahs, so go nuts. Okay, Cantor. Wait, you're the man of 1,000 songs. Okay.
You know it.
He's good.
He's really good. I know. This. They don't train you for this.
Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam.
shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam.
This is where my list breaks down a little bit. So Mark Moskowitz and Mark Greenwald, whatever Shelley tells you the next two people are. Janet and Carl, you're going to transfer yours to Brad Tepper. Brad Tepper, Betsy Tepper, somewhere around here. Betsy, yes. And Alyssa Peak, you're going to hand off to Riblin's wife. So, Riblin, Michael. Okay, Betsy's getting from. Shelley, did we find our two gap?
Shelley, what do you want?
Okay, Lucas is coming. Lucas is getting one from Mark Greenwald, and then who's the other? All right. Whoa, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Welcome home. Okay. You haven't even broken a sweat. You know?
I'm used to this.
Okay.
Do you want me to walk a little faster?
No. Actually, the timing is perfect. We're doing great. Okay. Oh, and Lauren Tepper is holding a Megillah now. So if you have a Megillah, you can get the Lauren. Okay. Luke Effen's holding the Megillah. Don't worry. We're all in good hands. Okay. Everybody that's supposed to be carrying a Torah, we just need to find somebody to take from Mark, right?
Spider web! A photographer! I know!
You just gotta go with somebody.
I just wanted
Somebody, anybody. Anybody. Okay.
Can I sew from the paper? Look at this!
Okay. All right, doesn't matter. Okay, keep walking. We'll figure it out. Yes.
Keep singing.
Yeshmir Shabbat. Yeshmir Shabbat. Yishmereni. Oti le'olean. Beino beini.
I'm having a great time. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to be a Jew in Sag Harbor. End of the block, I think. Important transition spot as we literally climb the mountain, as it were, back to our home. Also, one of the only places you'll find cactuses or cacti here in Sag Harbor over there. So little details matter a lot. Okay, so transferring Torahs now, at least as I understand it. One of the big Torahs goes to Brianne Matloff. Brianne, somewhere here. Okay. Fran already has a Torah, so Fran's got to give Shelley. You got to help me out here because the paper is breaking down now, so I don't know who's getting what. Yeah, is Michael Graff here? Michael Graff, can you come help us out?
However's comfortable for you.
Okay, Michael. All right, yes. Okay. Fran, Fran. Okay, Lucas, we gotta transfer yours, right? So, what do we have left? Jelly, somewhere? So I think Lucas is still holding it.
Good exercise, right? It's not everyone just carrying it.
Take Jacob or Ike or somebody. Okay. Almost there. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, come on, you're tall. You've been rowing forever. Okay, this is nothing compared to rowing. Okay, Lucas, the wonderful gentleman there, smiling at you. He's going to give you a Torah. You remember this from your bar mitzvah? Hold it. It's been a minute. Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, everybody, this is a little bit more of an arduous trip. You're going uphill, so be careful, be thoughtful, don't bump into anybody. Okay, and as soon as we get to the hill, we're going to turn right. Turn right, where it says one way. Okay, Cantor, lead us away. We're almost there, people.
Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael,
Am Yisrael,
Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael.
Don't forget to thank the officers and your Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel, Chai. Am Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel, Chai. Am Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel, Chai. Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Am Israel. Into the parking lot and a little thing there, and then all right. As you can see, we're almost there. We're almost there, people. You're doing great. Okay. Taking over one of the large Torahs is Roger Matloff. You're going to take one of the large Torahs. Mark and Wendy Bitterman, you're also going to take one of the large Torahs. So Owen and Michael Graff are the guys that'll take care of you there. Julie Tapcon is taking our Holocaust scroll. So Julie, wherever you are. Right here. Julie, good. And then we just have one more. More Diane. Okay, Diane Schiffman, one of our great teachers in our Hebrew school. You're going to take over the smaller Torah, I believe. Okay, Owen still has a Torah. Okay, so that goes to Diane, and then, oh, no, sorry. Brad, you give to Julie. Owen, you give to Diane. Good enough. Okay, so guys, we're going to walk into the parking lot first before everybody goes into the building. Gather around there. Cantor, you still got it in you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. He's young. Look at the guy does not sweat. Remarkable.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, chiri biri biri bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.
Shelly and we need Alan. Anybody that's holding a Torah, if you're getting tired, we can pass off to another person to hold. I know. Okay, so Shelly, here, you explain that.
Okay, so what we're doing now is we're doing, thank you everyone for the walk, that was awesome, and for all the Torah carriers. We're now going to do something a little bit different. Rabbi Dan's going to hold one Torah, and we have some special people here that are going to hold onto the Torah. So first let me introduce Toby and Marcus, who are co-chairs of our youth group. Jacob Weller, I don't see you. Jacob, come on up. He is More Weller. He has taught 4 years of high school as a TA, a teacher assistant here. Thank you. And Arlene Auerbach is Toby's grandma, and Myra Peskowitz and Gail Gambino, our board member. So Rabbi Dan is going to come and sort of like the bar mitzvah thing, from door to door, from generation to generation, we're going to pass the Torah. Okay. If you're holding a Torah, if you can hold on to it.
Great. So, Gail, do you want to stay right where you are?
Sure.
Here? Okay, so you're good. Pass back to me and pass along our way. Let's go to this end and work our way down. Myra. And oh, look at this! Oh, that's very sweet. Very sweet. Thank you, Toby. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Jacob. Excellent. I will take back to you. Okay. Alan, Alan is going to say a few words, I believe. Alan Levitt, are you somewhere around here?
Alan Levitt.
Alan
and
Levitt.
then once Alan has spoken.
You want to speak inside? Okay.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is whoever's holding Torah.
No. We've got people that are taking it in.
Okay, good.
Okay, so we're going to ask Rabbi Dan, Alan Levitt, Susan Snyder, Kurtz, and Mark and Helen Jerome to come forward with the Torah, and they're going to walk into the sanctuary. Let's give them the COVID and let them go first.
Mark, you've got that one. Who else gets?
There were 4. Alan Levitt, Susan Snyder,
Okay, so
Mark
Alan,
and
you wanna
Helen.
Okay, and then the final one, Susie, you're going to give from Roger, and then where's our fourth Torah?
This is one, it's the light one.
We've lost the Torah.
So do you want the smaller guy?
No, I'm
It should be okay. Who has the fourth Torah though?
How are you? I'm good. Good to see you.
Okay, then I'll take.
Dr. Lenskowski,
think?
sorry. This
Yeah.
is Rabbi Dan, it's Dr. Lenskowski.
Okay,
is
great.
taking it.
Okay, so then Dr. Lenskowski. Where are we? I was just going to say that would be the best. Okay, so here. Just everybody, as you're going up the stairs, be extra careful. And just remember, there are still some pieces of the building that are in progress. Okay, we're not going downstairs right now. We're staying on the upper floor. Our little people, our little guys, let's remember that. And yes, anybody that needs direct ADA access, around this side there is a ramp that will take you all the way directly into the sanctuary, and we have people to help with that. So anybody that needs a little bit of extra help getting in the building or doesn't want to take the stairs, to let us know. The elevator won't be working for a couple more weeks. Okay, so I think...
Do you want to carry that in?
No, you should. Okay, follow the Torahs. Now follow Shelly and then follow the Torahs. Okay.
sorry. I guess I'm going.
We'll follow Kevin. Okay, and remember also there are seats in the balcony as well. We're going to try to fit everybody with you. Take your time on the stairs.
All right, so Neil, they're going to come through. Let them, one of you will this way, let them stand there, and then I'll take them for the
It's a deal.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to stand right there.
In front, right there, right?
Yeah. I'll hold it if you get tired.
back downstairs so I don't get caught in the ceremony. Nice to meet you.
Welcome all of you to our wonderful restored temple, our historic sanctuary, and our beautiful space, which you'll see more of in just a few moments. But I wanted to spend this first time talking about what really is the heart and soul of our temple. This beautiful ark that stands before us, which really is, as I said, core to who we are as the Jewish people, but also core to who we are as Temple Adas Israel specifically. And I want to show you one of the most important artifacts, and not really artifacts because we use it every week, but an important part of our history is one of the 4 Torahs that we have in our ark that was gifted to us, believe it or not, by President Teddy Roosevelt. So with your permission, I'm going to open the ark and to take out the Torah to show you just a little bit and to tell you a little bit about how it came to be in our possession. So this Torah, as you'll notice, and especially if you compare it to the ones behind, is quite a bit smaller, almost half the size. And this isn't accidental. It's because this Torah, as I said, belonged not so much to President Roosevelt, but to some of his Jewish soldiers when he was leading the battle up the, I'm forgetting exactly, it's the Battle of San Juan Hill. So when his soldiers were fighting in the Spanish-American War, when they came back, they were quarantined in Montauk, and when they broke camp, they looked for a place to donate what was actually a saddleback Torah. It was carried not so much into battle, but into the camp and along with the soldiers, because no matter where we go in the world, even when we are unfortunately or necessarily fighting, we still have the Torah as close to us as possible because, again, it is the heart and soul of who we are as the Jewish people. So this was built and designed, and unlike other Torahs that are of more substantial size, to be able to literally be wherever the soldiers were. And when they broke camp, they no longer needed it for that particular purpose. The soldiers were going to return home and to their communities. And so they looked for the closest synagogue, and we were by far the closest synagogue, probably for at least 50 or 60 miles, if not more, at that point in history. So we have really been the custodians of this Torah for all of those generations. And when I think about how many people have held this Torah in their arms, long before I was ever privileged to be the rabbi here, every time that I hold it, every time that we use it on Shabbat or on holidays, every time one of our students who are a bar bat mitzvah carry it or read from it, every chance we have actually to talk about it as part of our history is a great point of pride. And it also speaks to, again, what I think is something of the unique character of our synagogue and Sag Harbor in general, which is that the synagogue, again, has been here for generations. It's been a part of the fabric and the very nature of what Sag Harbor is as a community. Excuse me. So when we have these stories, they're not just stories to tell. They are very much a part of who we are, what our identity is about, and one that, again, is certainly, excuse me, Jewish in its origin, but also very much connected to not just the community, but the country that we are proud to be a part of. So this Torah, again, to us is beloved, but in the end, the thing that really makes it so meaningful, as I said, is when we just actually let our Hebrew school students go for the last Hebrew school session of the year, knowing that all of them at some point as they grow older, this, as I tell them all the time, is really theirs. It's not mine. It doesn't belong to one person or another. It really is theirs as an inheritance. And it's part of the reason why when we learn with them and study with them and teach them and help them to grow as young people and as young Jewish people and eventually growing into adults who will have their own families and live in their own places, that this is a part of their identity for their entire life. So to me, this is one of the great parts of our story. And it is another example of both being a part of history and a part of the present and ultimately a part of the future. So I'm extremely grateful to LTV and to be able to share this not just with my community, but with all of you who are watching. And if you've never heard of us, you've never been to Sag Harbor, you've never been to Temple Adas Israel, and you'd like to see this Torah with your own eyes, you'd like to see our beautiful sanctuary, we are very happy to have you and would welcome you anytime and to give you very much the same tour with which I am hoping to give right now. So this, again, really one of the great hallmarks of our space here, and something that I take great pride in knowing that as rabbi, it's one of the things that I get to do on a regular basis, is to use this Torah to teach about it and to share it with both our community and our guests when they should appear. So I want to also point out what is one of the great and most meaningful parts of our sanctuary, which are the stained glass windows, all of which created by local artisan Romany Kramoris right here in Sag Harbor on Main Street. Now, each of these windows predates me by quite a long margin, but when the construction began, each of them is, as you can imagine, quite delicate. So every single pane of glass had to be meticulously taken out, preserved in protective space, and then reinstalled, again, pane by pane, for us to be able to enjoy again. So for somebody that had never seen them before, one might think they're new, but actually they're one of the most important parts of our historical nature here in our sanctuary. As we're walking down, we can see also our beautiful pews here, each of which, again, was sent away to be restored to their original beauty. In my time here, in the most recent decades, this used to be carpeted floor all the way through, but we've gone back to the more original wood with this beautiful runner that we have here. We'll also notice as you look to the sides, you'll see these are what are called memorial boards. So as I was just explaining to our Hebrew school students, these names are extremely important to me, and they should be to them as well. Because without these names, I wouldn't be talking to you. Congregation is, again, just a building without people. And each of these people has a story. Each of them contributed to the nature of what it means to be part of Temple Adas Israel. So we remember them each in the time of year in which they passed. And for many people, actually, they choose which seats to sit in based upon where their relatives are. So they'll sit as close as they can as a way of feeling connected to those that have passed away and to bring their past into their present. So it's a very important part, again, of who we are as Jews generally, but who we are especially here at Temple Adas Israel. You can't be a historic community without appreciating your history. And certainly that's something that we do here in our sanctuary, which, again, our intention was largely to keep as close to what people remembered from before construction, while at the same time making sure to give it that love and attention and care that an older building needs from time to time. Another feature that you may notice is just above me, the balcony section that we have here. This balcony section historically was the women's gallery. This is because in traditional Judaism, men and women do not sit in the same space, and so it's very common actually of synagogues throughout our history in which the women's section was a balcony just above. These days, we very proudly are a fully egalitarian community, which means men and women, all genders, are treated of equal respect and involved in our services and in our experience of worship in the same way. But we hold on nonetheless to our history and to appreciate some of its unique characteristics as well. You'll also notice the chandeliers above us. My understanding, and I could be wrong on this, is that these are actually replacements for the original chandeliers because the original chandeliers fell down at a certain point. And some lovely members of our congregation replaced them with actually these beautiful and purposely iconic look. As you may notice, you know, we are a port town. So these have a certain non-kosher animal, octopus-looking feature to them. But I believe that was their intention, for sure. And so these are, again, some of those wonderful little things that one notices. And one of the great things, I promise I take no offense when my congregants perhaps get a little tired of the rabbi's sermon and their eyes may wander to various other features of the room. That's part of the experience as well. I take no offense to it. If anything, I appreciate it all the more so. You know, I was one of those people in the pew not so long ago. I did the same thing. It'd be pretty hypocritical to be upset about that with others. And, you know, again, each of these windows, especially at this time of day, it's what, you know, some of my favorite people who come here often remark on is that at the right time of day, the sun hits just in the right way, and you can actually see the reflections on the floor. I don't know if you can pick it up, but you can see just where you are right behind you on the floor there. You get these sort of rainbows of various colors that come through. And, you know, these little things actually add up to a lot when you consider them together. And one of the great things about synagogues throughout history, no matter where we are in the world, is that each of them really are unique. There are similar qualities. You will find certain similarities between all of them. But most of them are reflective, actually, of the architecture and the culture and the society in which they're built. So part of the humor to me, actually, is that we have friends down the street who've lived here for decades, some of which didn't even know this was a synagogue. Largely because when it was constructed, it was designed to really look like it fit in Sag Harbor. We weren't trying to be a version of something from Eastern Europe. And at the same time, right, holding on to our history, wanted to feel a part of Sag Harbor and its culture and its identity. And so that's one of the beauties of our synagogue and synagogues around the world, is you get a little bit of a taste of history, a little bit of a taste of the present, a little bit of a taste of the future, and really all of it, again, coming from a place of love. So let's take a look from the outside so we can get a different perspective of these beautiful windows and how the outside world sees in. So I want to welcome you outside. As you can see, during the daytime, it's a little bit harder to see the beautiful stained glass windows, but I invite you to drive by sometime at night when the lights are on, and you can see them, and they're just stunning. But I want to point out that the facade, as you see here, has been really reconstructed to bring us back as close as we can to what the original building looked like from the outside. So what you see here, you can't quite picture it right now, but in the original, the building was actually a little bit further in this way, and the original staircase was actually right here and led into where those stained glass windows are. That was the original entrance of the temple itself. So what we've done, while we can't recreate the steps legally, can't go out far enough for it to work, what we decided to do was to reconstruct them in a sort of a homage kind of way, and we're going to put flowers in and to make it look beautiful. But these pillars, as you see sort of on either side, those again were reconstructed. They were not in the most recent version of the temple itself. And you can see also another stained glass window all the way at the very top there. And there's another wonderful menorah piece that I believe will go back on once all the facade work is done. So one of the things I want to emphasize, and I said to our congregation when we opened up a few weeks ago, or last week, was that one of the requirements of any synagogue is that it has windows. And the reasons why are many, but one of the things I focused on is that it is both a means by which to see in from the outside, and also for us to see from the inside out this way as well. And this is to remind us that while we are in our temple, we are very much in our own space, but our own space is also part of this incredible town, this incredible village of Sag Harbor. That everything that we do, everything that we are, everything that we represent is also about where we are. And that for us, if we were, for example, right, especially these days, unfortunately, a lot of times our instinct is to build walls, right? To build things that protect us, or at least give us the sense of protection, to do the opposite of building windows. But for us, it's really that we wanted to emphasize the fact that we are very much here and a part of this wonderful place, and that we don't ever want to feel like we are hiding behind anything or separated from that which surrounds us. It's a really important part of who we are at Temple Adas Israel, and one of the great points of pride, I think, not just for myself, but for congregants both new and historic. And I really want to thank all of you again for taking the time to learn a little bit about our community, and really again to extend an invitation. Come by and see us. Come meet me. Come meet our wonderful members. Learn a little bit about our history. Just do me a favor. Give us a heads up if you're coming. So again, just want to welcome all of you to your Sag Harbor Temple, this beautiful Temple Adas Israel. And as you can see, wide open doors, because that's what we are really all about. Open doors, open arms. We welcome you all and hope to see you very soon.
Diva Moed, Diva Moed, Diva Moed, na 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 na